This is NTV.
Baniriza nnyo ku NTV ku lunaku luno olw'omukaaga ennaku z'omwezi 19 tukyali mu mwezi ogwokutaano. Eno ye NTV ku ssaawa emu nange Farida Nakazibwe. Embale agavaayo ga kive kya musajja gw'oyinza okuyita kaggwensonyi akabasanyiza omwana omulenzi. Omusajja ono w'emyaka 35 poliisi yamuyodedda era nga n'alipoota okuva ew'omusawo ekakasiza nti ddala omwana ono bamulidde ebisiyaga ago n'ag'obubenje obugudde ejjinja n'embalala nga bufiiriddemu abantu 227 ne bagendera ku bisago tobisibwa. Sooka olabe emitwe emikulu.
Yasiyaze omwana wa myaka 15 nga mwana asoma mu primary.
Embale omusajja akutte akalenzi ak'emyaka 15 poliisi emukutte. Abantu emitwalo 4 be bagenda okusengulwa wagenda okuzimbibwa essengejjero ly'amafuta e Hoima. Basi ya Jaguar egudde embalala 27 balumiziddwa. Rwanda esindisa ambulance okukima abantu baayo. Ebya Rogers Dungu bibi tabamiruka amuweza obulamu bwe bwonna mu bya Olympics. NTV ku ssaawa emu nkwaniriza nnyo. Poliisi Embale ekutte omusajja nga wa myaka 35 ku bigambibwa nti yakabasanyiza omwana omulenzi w'emyaka 15 gyokka. Sam Wandugwa ye yasenzesenza omwana okuyingira mu nnyumba gye yamutuusiriza ku kyokya. Balirwana bye bataasiza omwana ono abadde alajanira waggulu. Bw'atwaliddwa mu ddwaliro kikakasiddwa nti ddala omwana ono yasobezeddwako.
Sam Wandugu nga wa ku kyalo Nabweya mu ggombolola y'e Namanyonyi esangibwa mu disitulikiti y'Embale yakwatiddwa poliisi olw'ebisiyaga. Ono agambibwa okuba nga yakkakkanye kavubuka ak'emyaka 15 n'akasobyako mu ngeri eyawunikiriza ekyalo kyonna. Poliisi ekakasizza ensonga eno.
Yasiyaze omwana wa myaka 15 nga mwana asoma mu primary. Omwana ono agambibwa okuba nti mwana wa muliraanwa we nga ssaawa zaabadde nga za musanvu Ibe yawulidde ng'omwana ono aleekaana n'asobola okuyita poliisi ne tukwata omusajja ono nga kati ali wano ku poliisi yaffe ey'Ambale.
Kigambibwa nti omusajja ono Kagwa Ensonyi yayisa akalenzi kano mu nkuba eyabadde etonnye ennyo ku ssaawa 7 ez'emisana mbu ng'aliko gy'ayagala okatuma wabula ekyaddiridde gy'abadde miranga egyalese n'abo ku mulirwano kamutaasaako. Poliisi yagenze okutuuka nga Ssedduvutto ono abatuuze bamaze okumukwata. Poliisi era egamba nti omwana ono abasawo bamaze okukakasa nga bwe yayisiddwa obubi ennyo. Poliisi omusajja ono kati eteekateeka mutwala mu kkooti awere ennembe n'ogw'obuliisamaanyi.
Abantu abali eyo mu mitwalo 4 be bayinza okusengulwa mu nteekateeka ya gavumenti ey'okuzimba essengejjero ly'amafuta mu disitulikiti ey'e Hoima. Gavumenti yeetaaga ettaka lya square kilomita 29 okusobola okuzimba essengejjero lino, ekintu ekiyinza okukosa ebyalo ebisukka mu 14. Gavumenti ekakasizza nti abantu mu kitundu kino kati baakusasulwa okusinziira ku bbeeyi y'ebintu nga bweri mu kitundu ekyo.
Nora Besigye ngaweza egy'obukulu 54 mutuuze ku kyalo Kabale mu disitulikiti y'e Hoima awagenda okuzimbibwa essengejjero ly'amafuta. Y'omu ku bantu abasuubirwa okusengula mu maka gaabwe singa kinakkanyizibwako nti abantu bano balina okwamuka ettaka kwe babadde okusobola okuteekawo enkulaakulana.
Nyowe ekizibu ekinkurora tugenda kubonabona habwokuba tubaire twine itaka likooto kandi ati nkurora abo baratwihano bakatuteeka handi n'abaana baitu babaire mu masomero kandi itaka eryo tinkunihira ngu twijja kufuna itaka likooto nkeri tubaire twina.
Ono si ye kalina okutya mu nteekateeka ya gavumenti ey'okuzimba essengejjero ly'amafuta mu kitundu kino.
Suffers too much about this problem.
If government say that they take a piece of my land and I have a little to stay on and they decide to pay me monthly on my what, I can do what? I can agree.
Abantu bo batuufu okutya naye ate nze njagala tebeeraliikirira.
Wabula gavumenti egamba nti okulaliikirira kw'abantu bano kwa kukolebwako ng'eyita mu kukuŋŋaanya ebirowoozo byabwe ekintu ekyatandiseeko olunaku lw'eggulo.
Bagenda kutambula nyumba ku nyumba, kyalo ku kyalo nga buli omu boogera naye. Kati ebyo banaatubuulira bano ba consultants babiteeke mu ripooti, kati ripooti eyo balyoke bagiwe gavumenti.
Eno nga bwe ndabayo ettaka gye liri abantu tujja kugezaako basobole okubaziza kumpi na wano we babadde.
Square kilomita 29 ze zeetaagibwa okuzimba essengejjero ly'amafuta era nga lyafunibwa mu bitundu omuli Kabale ne Buseruka nga bino byonna biri mu disitulikiti ya Hoima.
Twagala ekifo ekyokusooka nga tekiri wala nnyo n'amafuta we gali. Ate ng'ekifo nga kiri flat.
Kisuubirwa nti enteekateeka eno yakumalawo obuwumbi obusoba mu 2 obw'ensimbi za Amerika era nga amafuta agali mu bidomola emitwalo 8 geg'okufulumizibwanga buli lunaku. Mu kiseera kino waliwo enteekateeka $80 Settlement Action Plan egenda mu maaso nga mwe abantu mwe bajja okuweerayo ebirowoozo byabwe ku ngeri gye baagala okusasulwamu era ng'esuubira okutwala ebbanga lya myezi 4. Minisitule y'obugagga bw'omuttaka esuubira nti mu mwaka gwa 2017 essengejjero lino lijja kuba litandise okukola. Julia Senkandwa, NTV.
NTV kusawemo ku luguudo oluva Embarra okudda Entungamo mu katundu Kenyeihanga abantu 6 basimattuse okufiira mu kabenje. Bano babadde batambulira mu bbaasi ya Jaguar eyabadde eva e Kigali ng'edda e Kampala. Bbaasi eno yeekanze ekimotoka ekyafiiridde mu kkubo wakati neyeesolosa mu luwonko. 27 bafunye ebisago era bali mu kujjanjabibwa kati.
Bano be bamu ku basimattuse akabenje ku luguudo lw'Embalala akaguddewo olunaku lw'eggulo. Baatuusiddwa wano mu ddwaliro ekkulu Embalala nga bataawa. Omugatte abaakoseddwa bali 27 naye nga 3 embeera yaabwe si nnungi.
Naye obuzibu bwe tufunye tuuse mu ddwaliro Mbalala Main Hospital abalwadde baagala ekisule batusindise mu ekisule abakozi abakolawo tebaliiwo ne tubagamba batuwa ambulance teekawo amafuta olwedde ambulance batugambye transport officer taliiwo.
Omugoba wa bbaasi kigambibwa nti yeekanze ekimotoka kirukululana ekyafiiridde mu kkubo.
bwe yagezezzaako okugiwugula n'asangayo bbaasi eyabadde yerekera gye bava bw'atyo ne yeesolossa mu lukonko.
As the vehicle was coming, there was another bus coming from the other end. Then as he was turning over there, he thought of crossing to the other end and he was given no way, so he decided to divert it to this end.
Poliisi egamba nti baddereeva basusse okuvugisa ekimama.
We have been telling drivers always to get warning signs. Whenever a vehicle breaks down, there is that triangle sign, which is a reflector, so that it warns an oncoming driver that there is a problem ahead. There is a broken down vehicle ahead.
Olw'obubenje obweyongedde bataddewo ne woofiisi edduukirira abantu mu mbeera ng'eno era olwa ambulensi eyateekebwawo baasobodde okutaasa obulamu bw'abantu bano kati abali mu kunyiga ebiwundu.
Bivudde mu bugwanjuba bw'eggwanga. Mu buufu bwe bumu abantu babiri ababadde batambulira ku boodabooda bafiiridde mu kibuga Jinja bwe batomedde ekimotoka kiroole kibadde kisimbiddwawo kumpi n'ekkubo mu kifo ekiyitibwa Railway. Abafudde babadde batuuze bempumudde. Wakati mu nnaku eno wabaluseewo katemba omusajja ategerekese nga Moses Waiduba naye omuvuzi wa boodabooda bw'atuusa wagudde akabenje kano n'atandika okuyola omusaayi gw'abafu. Abantu bamutabukidde nga baagala ababuulire wa gy'abadde agutwala. Bwe bityo bibadde.
Wakati mu kabugutono k'okugyayo emirambo saka entisa y'abantu abafiiriddewo embulaga wezeetedde n'omusajja ono ayodde omusaayi gw'abafu n'agusuula mu kaveera kano akaddugavu. Kyokka abadde abalabukiridde ng'agezaako okudduka bye baviiriddemu ku b'enganda b'omugenzi amwekengedde ne babuguma.
Kaakati ali kuyola musaayi agutwala wa? Kitegeeza nti yaloze abantu bange okufa.
Abantu
Musonyiweko katono okukutaataaganyizibwa mu byuma naye bijja kutereera essaawa yonna katubaddiremu egguliro eryo ery'akabenje akagudde mu kibuga Jinja wakati.
Wakati mu kabugutono k'okugyayo emirambo saka entisa y'abantu abafiiriddewo embulaga wezeetedde n'omusajja ono ayodde omusaayi gw'abafu n'agusuula mu kaveera kano akaddugavu. Kyokka abadde abalabukiridde ng'agezaako okudduka bye baviiriddemu ku b'enganda b'omugenzi amwekengedde ne babuguma.
Kaakati ali kuyola musaayi agutwala wa? Kitegeeza nti yaloze abantu bange okufa.
Abantu bamuyambyeko n'otandika okumubuuza akanana kataano gy'abadde agutwala era bongedde okumuwumiza.
Yatalabye abantu engeri gye bafuddemu fe abalabye fe tulina ennaku kati ye lwaki abadde asitula omusaayi agutwala wa?
Omukungu wa poliisi azze n'agezaako okuwoyawoya abantu nga banyonyola ng'omusaayi olumu gwetaagibwa mu kunoonyereza ekyongedde okujja abantu mu mbeera.
Bakikola omuntu wafe omusaayi gwabaawo mungi batoolawo yajja n'omulambo
ekintu ekyo niwo kikoze obona
poliisi netolawo ebintu ebirabena oba omuntu wa booda omusaayi ate omwana agambye wa poliisi yamutumye omusaayi lwaki
era bwe bamatidde okumulemerako oluvannyuma n'abategeeza nga waliwo omusawo abadde agumutumye. Kyokka oluvannyuma yekyusizza era abantu kwe kumuwalawala nga bamutwala mu nkambi ya poliisi ejjinja gy'abalekidde omusirikale gwagambye nti yabadde amutumye omusaayi. Oluvannyuma b'ebyokwerinda babiyingiddemu omusajja ono n'owa poliisi gwagamba nti abadde amutumye omusaayi ne bakwatibwa nga kati bali ku poliisi ejjinja. Omwogezi wa poliisi ejjinja agamba nti bali mu kunoonyereza ku nsonga eno.
Bibadde ejjinja eri mu Busoga oli ku NTV ziri 12 eziyise ku ssaawa emu. Tovaawo katumulemu katono ddala tudda na kitundu ekyokubiri omuli n'essinga obadde ggwe. Ennaku za Joseph Kony ziweddeko, kamanda w'amagye ga America ayogedde. Bw'oyawukana ne muganzi wo kyokka oluvannyuma n'afuna ssente osobola okuddayo akuyambe, tosubwa singa obadde ggwe.
This is NTV. 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 This is NTV.
Oli ku NTV ku ssaawa mu mawulire amalala Omuduumizi wa America avunaanyizibwa ku magye gaayo mu Africa General Ham Carter agambye nti Ssaabayeekera Joseph Kony wakwatibwa ne bw'anaagezaako okwesulubabba nga bw'akola kati. Carter abadde kuno ku mikolo egy'okukomekkereza olukiiko lw'abaofiisa ab'amagye ag'oku ttaka okuva mu mawanga ga Africa ag'enjawulo olubadde e Munyonyo. Omusajja ono yaduumirako amagye ga America mu lutalo lwa Iraq.
Kati kumpi kigenda kwera emyaka 25 nga Ssaabayeekera Joseph Kony awenjezebwa olw'ebikolobero entoko byatuusiza ku bantu mu Uganda, Congo, South Sudan ne Central African Republic. Mu October 2011, President wa America Barack Obama yalagira amagye ga America ag'abasirikale 10 okuyamba ku UPDF okulwanyisa Kony. Tubuuziza General Ham Carter, omuduumizi w'amagye ga America, kyokka nga yavunaanyizibwa ku gali mu Africa, bwe tusanze ku kitebe kya America mu Kampala atubuulire lwaki Kony aluddewo okukwatibwa.
I would remind people that it took more than 10 years for us to find Osama bin Laden, the most wanted man on the planet. But and I am confident that Joseph Kony will be captured and brought to justice. Joseph Kony basajjabe bekutuddamu obubinja obutonotono ate nga bali mu bibira ebikwafu ennyo. I'm not confident as to when that will happen. As much as I would like to be able to tell my own president, to be able to tell President Museveni that we think this capture will occur by a certain date, that's just not realistic.
General Ham Carter awadde amagezi nti Kony okusobola okutulibwa ku mpeete amagye ga Uganda, South Sudan, Congo ne Central African Republic gasaana okukolera wamu naddala nga waŋŋana amawulire akwatagana ku musajja ono. Wabula agamba nti olw'ebituukiddwako naawe ekyokulabirako kya Major General Caesar Aslam eyakakwatibwa bw'agambye nti ejja kuyambako okuwa amawulire agasobola okukozesebwa okukwata Kony.
NTV ku ssaawa emu. Wano mu Buganda waliwo enjogera egamba nti omwami anadda ddi kuggwe kwatuukira n'abantu b'e Butalijja ne Tororo abaludde nga balindirira enkuba ebajje mu kyeya bali mu kukifuuwa nga bakizza munda. Ennaku entono enkuba zeetonyera amazzi gatandise dda okwanjala mu nnimiro saako okubambula obusolya ku mayumba gaabwe. Abantu ba mu maka agali mu 20 tebakyalina we basula.
Enkuba ebadde etonnya ensangi zino obutasalako erese amayumba g'abantu e Tororo kumpi 20 nga gagudde n'amalala okubambulukako amabaati.
They've lost their property. They don't have where to sleep. If we can get taplings, better. They've even, some of them have lost their money because during the rain it comes and washes away everything.
Ng'oggyeko amayumba, abantu mu kitundu kino abalimira okumpi n'omugga Malaba bafiiriddwa emmere yaabwe omugga bwe gujjudde olw'enkuba etasalako ne gutandika okwanjaalira mu nnimiro. Kino kibeewanisizza emitima olw'okutya enjala eboolekedde.
Ennimiro ziri awo, waliwo abalima kasooli, wali abateekawo olumonde waabwe. Abeeyo si be bokka abakaaba. N'abo mu disitulikiti y'e Butalijja embeera kyenkana y'emu. Nabo enkuba ebadde etonnya obutasalako ereetedde amazzi okwanjaalira mu nnimiro zaabwe.
Obulo, lumonde, kasooli, mogo.
Aba Red Cross ababadde mu bitundu bino okulaba embeera bweri bagamba ng'oggyeko obwetaavu bwe balimu bali mu katyabaga ak'okufuna endwadde eya kolera.
Olaba abaana abo basinga amazzi banywa, amazzi tebafumbyeko gagenda naye nga byonna bakulwa n'abiroomu ate bagenda nga banywa amazzi ago.
Ekitundu ky'e Butalijja kye kimu ku ebyo ebitera okukosebwa enkuba buli lwetonya era ebiseera by'enkuba we biggweerako basigala mu njala.
Abantu bangi babeera mu mukwano oba oliawo ne batalowooza nti basobola okwawukana. Kino wabula bwe kibaawo olumu baba tebakyayagala wadde okwetunulako. Mu kukubaganya ebirowoozo olwaleero tubuuza nti singa obadde n'omwagalwawo kyokka ne mwawukana bw'afuna ssente nga ggwe oli bubi osobola okugenda gy'ali n'omusindira ennaku yo akuyambe singa obadde ggwe.
Nze omukazi gwe nali njagaddeko tusobola mukyawa era tusigala tubeera mu mbeera eyaffe eya bulijjo era nga wadde namwefuulira ne bwe musanga naŋŋamba nti kitwebuuzaganya bulungi nnyo era bwe musanga bw'aba alina kyampa sikigaana simuyinaako buzibu.
Olwaleero omulamwa gwe tuteesaako okugamba nti ddala singa obadde olina munno gwe wayawukana naye alina nga gwolina ku ssente wabula nga mwayawukana bubi nnyo ne wayita ekiseera n'oggwamu ate ye n'afuna ku nsimbi osobola okuddayo n'omusaba akuyamba akusika omukono ddengulu.
Kisinziira ku ngeri tuba twayawukana mu tutya. Waliwo okubanga twayawukana mu mbeera enkyamu nnyo nga si ya buntu bulamu mba sisobola kuddayo gyali.
Taba twakyagala naye nga nasigala nga nze muli mwagala nsobola kuddayo neegayira naye nga twakyagala nga nze simwagala asiddayo.
Kati nze ng'omusajja mba nsobola ate okuddewo omukazi olw'okuba afunye.
Sobola zimuwa kuba yandekawo ng'era mba sirina kati abulaki abeera yandekawo ng'ate bw'alaba nga nfunye n'akumawo.
Manyi bagamba nti bwe wali obaddeko naye si kyangu kumwerabira.
Kisinziira mu ngeri ki?
Agaggawala nzirayo bulungi nnyo.
Nze nakulabye gwera ng'osukula.
Kubanga mbeera njagala ssente.
Toziteeka mulunkulu.
Siziteeka mulunkulu era nzirayo bulungi nnyo neetonda bulungi nnyo ne nzirayo.
Era n'obwavu bwange nga siridde za mukazi.
Muyamba kuba tata w'abaana bange. Mujjukira olw'abaana bange.
Sibumuwa kubanga yali yandeseeyo nga tuli baavu.
Abakyala ebiseera ebisinga mutera okujjukira gye wali ovuddeko.
Bw'aba yali ampisiza bubisobola zimu.
Kati bw'oddayo abanga akuyitanga akutwalanga masiikini. Siddayo. Ngomero obwavu bwange.
Nzirayo bulungi nnyo kuba ebiseera ebimu nsobola okubanga twawukanye naye lwa mbeera ya ssente. Nga sisobola ekiseera nga alina siyina ssente zisobola kumbeezawo ne saagala muttire future ye ne mmuta. Naye Katonda wamuyamba n'afuna ssente ate lwakita nange tanyamba ntubeera nange nga njijjayo.
Mubawulidde endowooza zaabwe ku mulamwa ogubadde gugamba nti singa oyawukana ne munno mu bubi nga olina ku ssente n'omala n'ogwate ye n'akikwata ng'enjogera y'ennaku zino bwegamba oddayo n'omusaba akuwe ku buyambi naawe oddengulu oba weekuluntaza. Abasinga bagamba baddayo abamu bagamba nti nguma n'obwavu bwange. Bwe tutyo bwe tubadde tujja kuddamu nati nze Dini Lubo Wasaava mwebale nnyo mwenna abateesezza olwaleero.
Singa yasinga singa seesiimye singa obaddeko.
Olukiiko tabameruka olwa Uganda Olympic Committee Brigadier Rogers Dungu abadde president walwo. Tovaawo katumulemu katono ddala tugenda kukubuulira ebisingawo ku gguliro eryo mu byemizannyo.
This is NTV. This is NTV.
26 zeziyise ku ssaawa emu okyali ku NTV ku ssaawa emu mu mizannyo olwaleero olukiiko ttabamiruka olwa Uganda Olympic Committee lugobye abadde President w'ekibiina Rogers Dungu nga lumulanga kumenya ssemateeka w'ekibiina bwe yatwala enkaayana ze balina mu mbuga z'amateeka. Olukiiko lwe lumu yaluzizza ebbali abadde omumyuka w'omuwandiisi w'ekibiina kino Nicholas Piminga nga lumulanga okubaako byamanyi ku nkaayana ezibadde mu kibiina.
Olukiiko ttabamiruka olw'ekibiina kya Uganda Olympic Committee olutudde ku katikati e Lugogo lukunkumudde omukono mu kibya abadde President w'ekibiina kino Rogers Hans Dungu. Wadde nga Dungu ayogeddwako ng'akoze emivuyo emingi mu bukulembeze bw'ekibiina kino ekyokuwabira ekibiina mu mbuga z'amateeka kye kisinze okumuzaalira akabasa.
Bw'otunula constitution yaffe chapter 23 egamba nti bw'otwala akavuyo konna mu kooti kiragira nti omuntu agobebwa.
Ebibiina by'emizannyo 13 ku ebyo 18 ebiri mu Uganda Olympic Committee bye biwanise emikono nga biwagira Dungu agobwe ku bukulembeze buno. Abakiise era basabye Dungu abaddize mangu ekyapa ky'ettaka ly'ekibiina erisangibwa e Busia, mmotoka wamu n'ebiwandiiko bya akaawunti ya banka gye yaggulawo mu London nga tategeezezza bakakiiko banne. Penna Kabenge n'ab'ekiwayi ky'ebikonde abadde batalinnya mu kimu ne Dungu bagamba nti basanyufu nnyo olw'ebisaliddwawo.
Ebivudde mu General Assembly binsanyusizza nti bankiriyarinze ate kwegamba nti ne situation ebaddewo mu Olympic Committee ebadde rectified. Ekyo kinsanyusizza kubanga okubeera ku mbiranye buli kiseera kibadde tewali gye kitwala nga mukulaakulanya emizannyo mu Uganda.
Kitusanyusizza nnyo kuba ye muntu eyekiise mu kkubo lyaffe ery'omuzannyo gwaffe okuba nti gutuuka n'okuba nti tegugenze mu Olimpiki tegwagenda mu Commonwealth leero lwa muntu omu Mwami Dungu ng'ate so yayitirawo ku kaadi yaffe ya bikonde yatuleetamu enjawukana. Tusaba tuddemu twegatte tuzze omuzannyo gwaffe ku maapu nga bwe gwalinga edda.
Olukiiko era luzizza ku mabbali Nicholas Piminga abadde omumyuka w'omuwandiisi era ng'abadde nnyo ku lusegere lwa Dungu bamale okumunoonyerezaako. Sampoza NTV.
Webale nnyo Sampoza. Abavuzi b'emmotoka olwaleero beemaze eggaŋŋano mu mpaka za Uganda Motorsport Club Misali Rally ezibadde mu kibuga Masaka. Abavuzi 32 be beetabye mu mpaka zino.
Sharapati Inama wangudde Pinyot
Akadde katambudde ziri ya 30 eziyise ku ssaawa emu. Webale nnyo okubeera ku NTV. Mu Kampala olwaleero enkuba olw'eggulo etonyedde ddala era nga ne mu bitundu ebirala ebigirinaanye bafunye ku kakuba wadde nga wamu tekaweze. Tetugenda kubawa nteebereza ya budde ey'enkya naye mugirinde mawulire gaffe yagaddako. Farida Nakazibwe mbakaliza weekend ennungi. Mweraba.
This is NTV. is NTV.
Today on Showcase Uganda, we continue our journey through the profound beauties of Uganda's islands. Our destination, Bugala Island, the biggest of all the 84 Sese Islands. Our trip to the island on the crowded ferry starts from Nachiwogo Pier, which is approximately 2 kilometers from the center of Entebbe town. The ferry normally docks at about 10 a.m. and sets off at 2 p.m. The ferry ride takes about 3 hours. Though it is the most recommended means of transport, canoes can be hired to get you to the island at a reasonable price. For those travellers closer to Masaka town, another ferry leaves the mainland from Bukakata to Bugala, with the ferry ride taking between 40 to 45 minutes. On the ferry, there is a general feeling of anticipation as most travellers are on holiday and are looking forward to some few days of fun and relaxation after the hustle and bustle of today's urban life.
We work so hard the whole year, neglect our wives, stay out long hours trying to work, neglect the kids. So, this is one of those days. Run away from town, switch your phone off, Yeah, that's why I'm going there. To have fun, be alone, play football,
Just have a couple of days off. So I think Kalangara is the best choice right now. Good scenery. It's different, really. It's not like Kampala. I'm in Kampala full time, So this is a chance to see the islands, really.
Time to do domestic tourism. Why go to Hawaii, Honolulu, Zanzibar before you see Kalangala?
Gifted by nature.
Uganda, gifted by nature.
The spray from the lake is both refreshing and relaxing, and it's exhilarating. The 27,000 square mile water body, Lake Victoria, is shared by the 3 East African countries, with Uganda possessing the northern part, Tanzania the southern, and Kenya the northeastern part. It is also the source of the Great River Nile. Due to its proximity to the lake, Bugala Island is blessed with rainfall throughout the year and is thus lush and verdant with vast untouched tropical rainforests. The vegetation varies depending on the geological formation and alternates between extensive rainforests and savanna grasslands. The deep blue waters support an abundant ecosystem, so the island is indeed a bird watcher's paradise. In addition to the many fascinating rare species, it harbours the world's greatest concentration of fish eagles. The island is populated by the Basese. These are the island's original inhabitants who earn their living mainly as fishermen. The blue waters of the lake abound with popular species like the huge Nile perch, which was introduced in 1950, and the native tilapia, which has sadly reduced in number due to the exploding numbers of Nile perch. Due to the favourable rainfall patterns, averaging around 2,000 millimetres a year, the Basese have successfully taken to farming, growing crops like coffee, sweet potatoes, bananas and cassava in order to supplement their meagre incomes. So while the original rainforest is still flourishing on the island, some of it has been cleared to make way for farming and other commercial activities. The occasional clumps of water hyacinth are a sad reminder of the country's struggle against the weed, which had threatened the lake's ability to support the livelihood of the 30 million or so people who rely on the lake for their basic sustenance. By the time the ferry lands at Lutoboka Bay, everyone is ready to start on a fabulous holiday. The ferry from Bukakata will land at Luku. One look at the glorious beaches and the gentle waves breaking on the shore, and you are sure you have come to the right place to unwind and feel at one with nature. When Showcase returns, we experience the enchanting delights of Bugala Island. Our holiday starts at Pearl Gardens, and a night out on the island is an experience which one cannot forego. The sound of music and laughter and the gentle glow of the campfire will draw you like a magnet to join the group of merrymakers who are intent on only one thing: having a good time.
This is my first time to come on this island, and it's very good. There are nice places to see, forests, monkeys, like that, swimming at beaches. Even you can see hippos.
It's a very lovely island here. We like the environment. It's quiet. It's beautiful nature. And we have seen a little bit from the environment.
As you make your way to the beach, a walk through the enchanting grounds of Pearl Gardens Resort will provide a fresh start to your day. Nothing beats the experience of being awakened by the gentle sound of waves, birds chirping, and the happy shouts of the early morning swimmers. You can take a few moments, savouring the tranquility and freshness of the awakening gardens, after which you can enjoy your breakfast right by the shore, with the waves breaking a few feet away. Breakfast is also served in the dining room. The island is a nature lover's haven with about 50 kilometers of road on it and can be explored on both foot and by bicycle. A walk through the forest is the best way to start off the day's activities. The route will take you through the fishing village, past grass-thatched houses and curious householders. The people are warm and friendly and are happy to be of assistance to the many tourists, both local and international, who are drawn to the island to enjoy its serenity. You will find that there is relatively little activity taking place on the island, for the Basese are essentially a rural community whose main occupation is fishing. Guides are available to take you on a tour through the island's rich natural tropical rainforest, which abounds with unique and colourful bird life, monkeys and trees. The forest is an entirely different atmosphere. One is overcome by a sense of wonder at being so near civilization and yet seemingly secluded from reality. The sounds of the birds chirping in the trees and the monkeys chattering overhead gives one a sense of being at one with nature. The variety of trees is impressive, and one cannot help but marvel at the complexity of both plant and animal life in the forest. A highlight of the trek through the forest is the remnants of Speke's Fort.
Yeah, and that's why many people actually they had failed to come up on top of this.
The British explorer John Speke, on his travels through Africa, is reputed to have constructed a house on this hill during his stay in Uganda. The cool waters of the lake are a welcome relief after a vigorous walk. You can recoup your energy as you lazily float around with the sun shining on your face, or join in the fun with a crowd of swimmers racing around and enjoy a really good swim. But as you splash around, do not forget that the lake provides a livelihood to the communities living on the islands, so watch out for the fishing boats as they take off to look for the day's catch. While on the island, you can participate in a myriad of invigorating activities. The game provides a total workout for the body as well as a pleasurable workout. It is never too late to enjoy simple pleasures. A go at the swings will take you down carefree childhood days of fun and games. During the holiday season, there is a special event usually organised by Pearl Gardens, which you should not miss while on the island, and that is canoe racing. This event is engaged in by all those who are able and causes a lot of excitement as crowds turn up to support and applaud their teams. For the contestants, it is a unique display of skill as the water flashes by with each team struggling to outdo its opponents. The race culminates in the prize-giving ceremony, with the winners getting a goat which is promptly taken away and roasted, while the runners-up get monetary prizes. It has been a time to share in the island's excitement, and you can look back at a truly fulfilling day.
Abokubiri be babadde bakulu bano wammanga.
When Showcase returns, we highlight the commercial facet of Bugala Island. A trip to the nearby Bigco plant, which is a project aimed at increasing domestic vegetable oil production, provides a contrast to the rest of the island. The well-kept plantations, testament to the 2,000 hectares of forest, which have been cleared and planted with more than 1 million imported palm oil seedlings. The plantation is projected to cover 26,500 hectares and is being undertaken jointly by the government, International Fund Agricultural Development, the World Bank and the private sector. The Bigco compound boasts of a modern conference centre, guest house, staff premises, a staff recreation centre and clinic. One simply cannot leave Bugala Island without going on a tour round the island by boat. This is another memorable experience, as you get to see the water rushing past at such close range, and you can even touch it as you go by. This excursion discloses even more breathtaking views of the beauties the island has to offer, plus the impressive bird life. The trip takes us to Sese Palm Beach Resort with its charming grass-thatched cottages and white sandy beach. You get to see a host of other accommodation facilities, which include Mirembe Resort Beach with its cool, refreshing breezes and white sands, secluded in an arc of forest. The Hornbill Camp, which is set on the beach in a clump of forest, while Islands Club offers bungalows and tents. Most of the tourist facilities on the island have camping sites, tents for hire, bandas and cottages. Although your days of indulging yourself at the island will seem to come to an end all too quickly, you will carry with you a lifetime of memories. time to take the ferry back to the mainland, and there is a usual rush to book oneself the best position to get those last wonderful views of the slowly receding island. Though the holiday has come to an end, it has been quite remarkable and rewarding.
I had a lot of fun. The beach, the view, everything is so amazing. Everybody out there should come and have fun. Yeah. This place is wonderful. People, plus that ship, I would say. It is so amazing. Oh God.
My name is Kevin Wakiro, and I like the island because I like to swim. I played with my friends. That's what I liked about the island. I enjoyed the beach and where we were sleeping and the food and that's all.
To tell it is very nice place and good place. My experience is very peaceful here. It's very peaceful and it's very good place.
Tourism, that's all I'm saying. Before we think of going to Dubai and Thailand and whatever. Yeah, put the money in the economy.
Next week on Showcase Uganda, we take you on an amazing trek into the mountains of Bundi.
This is NTV.
Welcome to this edition of the Art and Design Show. Today we feature a Ugandan gospel smooth jazz saxophonist who has a powerfully expressive voice that he integrates with traditional African rhythms. And we hook up with one of the 10 finalists of the Reds African Fashion Awards to find out what he went through preparing for the competition. These and more stories coming up. Today's edition introduces aspiring furniture makers to essential techniques of designing and tuning furniture.
This is a production technique called weaving, and we use all local materials. These ropes come from the waste banana leaves. Things that people throw away, they rot. And of course the raw materials are free. You don't have to go and buy banana fibers or papyrus. These are all natural resources which are growing abundantly and it required zero investment to actually start producing. Within our company we buy processed timber and we then have machines here which convert it into the specific sizes we need for the projects which we're doing. Huge range of timbers available here. We specialise mainly in hardwoods. We have basic machines at the moment which I think you saw earlier, actually plane the timber down to a usable level, and then the carpenters take it on. And that's where a number of our hand tools begin to get used. We have planes, we have chisels, hammers. It's a huge array depending on the actual product you're doing. On top of that, we have drill machines, we have sanding machines, we have a number of different items which are used in very specific areas. There's a huge range of obviously designs that you can do. I mean, we incorporate weave into our designs, metal, so the timber doesn't always stand alone. All of our products go through a very, very, very sort of industrious finishing process, which goes through 3 different sections of hand sanding, different levels of sanding, where the product is taken down to an absolutely perfectly smooth finish. It then goes through to our spraying section, and they'll put on a sealing coat of sealer, which basically cures the timber completely, so that you're not going to get any problems with doo-doos in the future or any insects or anything.
Based on examples in the historic colonial times, our cuff features fine joinery and simple designs.
It's a very European design that we go for on the whole. It's a very simple design. The concept normally comes from most of the European ideas that are around at the moment. But it's all made locally and all made by local artisans.
All pieces are designed to clients' particular requirements, and the staff are always collaborating closely with the client to achieve precisely the desired result.
Clients have got an amazing imagination. They want all sorts of things to happen, which is good fun for us, because we then have fun with the designs, and we make sure that those structural rules, those standard structural rules, are applied to the design the client would like.
A lot of interior furniture depends on where exactly you're going to keep it and on what your existing decor looks like.
I like to see a lot of harmony with colour, with a softness to all the furnishings that go into a room, a very natural look, and something that's not too overdone. I think the main thing is to think about the piece of furniture that you're having made. What is the use of it? How much use is it going to get? If you're going for a sofa where you've got children in the room, you're not going to want to go for a very light colour where they're going to scramble all over it, perhaps get it very dirty very quickly. You've got to think about the use of the furniture itself and go for something that's practical at the end of the day. Also, something that's removable for washing is very helpful on that side.
If your home looks the same year after year, then it's time to give it a little change.
Home trends tend to change quite rapidly, especially in sort of European environments. They change virtually with the season. We don't have seasonality here in Uganda in the same way, so trends don't need to change quite so rapidly. But where you've got your seasons changing, people tend to change from rich, bright colours through to pale colours, depending on what the season is.
In the hot season, a cool, airy look is appealing, so bare floors and naked windows are perfect for warmer months. Floral arrangements of pine and holiday colors can be changed for light, colorful ones in the hot season. Put away dark brass or pottery containers and bring out clear glass or crystal vases. Be sure to put garden magazines and flower books out on the coffee table in the hot season. That will help bring the outside in and add color to your interior. In the cold season, put warm blankets on the chairs, but the look must be light and uplifting. Changing with the seasons gives you an opportunity to get out some long-lost pieces to the center of attraction for a while. And now that the temperatures are warm, throw in some soft cotton or silk. You will be surprised what a difference just a small change can make.
I think people are starting to understand what they actually have here in Uganda to work with, and using their own local materials and their own local artisans is giving them a completely different feel to their homes.
Today on The Flair, we are with Emmanuel Bagwana, Emmanuel is the proprietor of a fashion house called Iguana, depicting both his names. Born in a family of artists, it was just logical that the trade transcended.
I come from a family of stylish women, so naturally I wanted to see other women look like my relatives. And also, I have an artistic background. Many people in my family are in the arts in one way or another. Yeah, so that inspired me to also follow the same career path. My biggest fashion inspiration is Tom Ford. He used to be the head designer for Gucci and YSL, and now he's doing his own label. He combines sexy and modern, and then puts in high fashion. So it's not tacky, yet it's sexy.
Emmanuel could not wait to complete studies before storming the fashion industry.
I always keep updated by subscribing to some of the fashion magazines like Vogue, Glamour, African Woman. So that keeps me at par with the trends, but I also put in my own creativity to give it an Iguana stamp, to make it Ugandan and Iguana. Yeah. To get a design to become an outfit, first being more professional and dealing with clients. The first collection I was starting out, so it was a bit laid back and I didn't have much to show. Then the second collection was more mature, more professional, and it gave me a lot of clients. So it's a good way for designers to market their stuff out there. Challenges we face as designers include competition with second-hand clothes or the cheaper imports from China, which maybe cost we charge. But what people don't know is that the quality will be different, and maybe what you're doing is unique. Then maybe we also face another problem of Ugandans are not so creative fashion-wise. Many people don't like taking risks, and as a designer, you expect someone to take a risk. So those are some of the challenges we face, and maybe fabrics also. The availability is not so. We don't have so much variety. The variety is a bit limited in the shops.
Last year, his sketch African Fashion Awards.
The Reds experience was such a challenging experience because I had to squeeze 3 outfits in a limited time. And with all the chaos, I still managed to come out with 3 spectacular outfits, I guess, which were ready by that time. And it was also very good exposure, career-wise. I've learned as a fashion designer that the most important thing is quality. You have to stick to quality before design, before anything else. Quality is a priority. So as I've gone on learning and improving on my skills, I've perfected on quality. Ugandans take fashion shows as entertainment, which is wrong. Fashion shows are business. It's like going for a trade exhibition, going for a factory exhibition, or going for a tractor exhibition. So fashion shows should be places where you go, you look at garments and see what you could buy or what you could order for your store in bulk. But Ugandans go there for entertainment. It's more like a concert.
Emmanuel didn't win the award, but the fact that his designs showcased left no doubt that the young designer is looking at no limits. The individual we feature today on Performing Arts is a saxophonist addicted to the instrument and energy of the sound it produces. His music is so captivating that many music lovers were enthralled by his talent. Isaiah Katuma is a Ugandan instrumentalist living in the United Kingdom. This gentleman definitely has a story to tell.
I should say, and in a lot of respect and honor to a man who played a very big role. He's called Mugero Washington. He had a school. They didn't have much to do with music. They was just studying it up. With my mother not having no clue where school fees was coming from. So he said, well, you can do something. So she said, unless I go and dig cassava and put it, exchange for school fees. He said, okay, just let's try it out. So one time down the road, the cassava was not coming out. And my mom went, I can't afford. So he said, okay, just bring him, but he will have to study while helping us and working, and for that, don't worry about the money. But he was going to be staying here. During the holidays, he will be working in the school band because the school band was commercial. And it was interesting. It was a bit hard because this gentleman was involved. I think he was a veteran of the Idi Amin, army, but he was a teacher as well. So it was interesting and a challenge because his kind of love was not the normal. He had to beat you up seriously in order to say something small. But he had to teach me the hard way. I mean, we used to wake up 4 o'clock, have to run down to about 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers. A kid, and you're carrying drums, and he's saying, I'm giving you fitness.
Last year, Isaiah appeared on the BBC's Network Africa, and the experience he got, he only can explain.
I know Jakana had the CD. I had no clue that he works for BBC. About a day after 2, they called me. I go, this is BBC, and can you come over for an interview? We want to have you on. I said, wow, yeah, I'm on. They picked me up in a car I had never seen. I was in London all the time. It was like a 2006 model. I said, wow. People were calling and sending in messages, and they said, can you stay another 2 hours? I said, of course, I'm at Bush House, man. Eventually, we were there for 4 hours. I said, yes. I actually played. They asked me, can you do some jingles for BBC? I said, why not? So in one of the breaks, I was just doing the jingles. And they said, there we go, this is BBC. And I'm like, wow, it's such a privilege.
The type of music Isaiah does is of Black American origin, characterized by improvisation, syncopation, usually with a regular or forceful rhythm.
People like Mansuru of Afrigo and Moses Matova, personal friends, very good friends of mine. I respect them so much. It's just that it's a different generation and they're playing different. But because I'm a saxophonist, I understand the way they tackle the instrument. It's so professional. People like Kenny G, Dev Kos, Masekela, people that are really into jazz, they speak the language.
As a Ugandan gospel smooth jazz saxophonist, Isaiah has developed a powerfully expressive voice that he integrates with traditional African rhythms. Isaiah's music is incredibly diverse, articulate, and glowingly expressive.
number one is my wife, Sheila. She does running up and down, and I really want to appreciate her. In fact, she's featured on two of the songs where she's singing leads, and I really want to appreciate her. And my son, of course, who is always encouraging me to play the saxophone.
Put your hands together for Isaiah. Come on.
The show went on for 2 straight hours. Isaiah, however, didn't have to stay on stage the whole time, but he did anyway.
Come on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a fantastic time so far. Come on, let me hear a very loud scream. Applause, 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 applause.
And finally, before we go, I'd like to leave you with a live performance taken of the Cards pantomime, A Fiddler on the Roof.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch. Matchmaker, matchmaker, look through your book and make me a perfect match.
But Mama, the man she finds, the last one was so old and bald. He had no hair. A poor girl without a dowry can't be so particular. You want hair? Marry a monkey.
Saito, if your father says no, that's it. It's final. He'll yell at me.
Mortal!
Yard with ducks and turkeys and geese, and chicks for the town to see and hear, squawking just as noisily as they can, with every quack and gobble and clap and keek, they would sound like a trumpet on the ear. Good Sabbath, children.
Good Sabbath, Papa.
Replegic, this is my eldest daughter, Zykel.
Good Sabbath. Good Sabbath. You have a very pleasant daughter.
I have 5 pleasant daughters. This is mine, and 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 this is not mine. Replegic, this is mortal Kamzoy.
That's it for this edition of the Art and Design Show. Remember, all mankind's inner feelings eventually manifest themselves as an outer reality. If you have any comments or suggestions towards the show, send us mail on art@ntvuganda.co.ug. Whatever it is, we're glad to read from you. Join us next week. Until then, goodbye.
This is NTV.
Right, hold on. Let me just finish this. Okay, done. Right, as the proverb says, the biter bit. Some people call it having a dose of your own medicine. Well, the joke this time is on our own super con woman, Ramla. Ramla, the joke's on you. Tell us, how does it feel to be a victim?
Adnan and Felix are hanging around waiting for a likely victim.
Sonia is on standby waiting for their fall for this trick.
Yes, Trevor. Oh, Sidi, please. Excuse me.
Madam.
Excuse me. What?
Your car has a flat tire.
Shit. How? Please. I'm from home right now.
Mama, kato wakanyanza akugula akato. Oloza amaso gange malimba.
All right. Honey, please let me call you later. Let me check it.
Mama, ngumazi.
Jango gu.
Mami, cheka go chali mdoli mdoli. Kamumpo mchalo no.
All right, whatever. Somebody just said that I was wasting my time. What? Oh my God!
This trick is often performed by conmen in traffic jams. Motorists who talk on the phone while driving are good targets since their attention is already captured by their conversation. In most cases, conmen work as a team, with each member assigned a different role. Ramla was talking on the phone and so it was easy for Felix to distract her. Sonia was only there to make Felix look genuine to Ramla. Mama ngumazi. Adnan waited for the right moment to grab her handbag as quick as a flash. Many times the victim does not realize the robbery until it's too late. And so, it's always safer to drive with the window up. Now, the streets of Kampala, you can never be too careful. I mean, even a con woman can get conned. Now, for me, will I ever get this car started? Like I said in the beginning, this show is full of surprises. Now Ronald is always at the receiving end. This time, he tries out his hand at his own con. Let's see what happens. Hey, now what's this? Hey, someone dropped and lost their wallet here. Hey. For those of us who hit the streets in the wee hours of the night because we have to be at work early, the next con is a familiar one. The streets are relatively empty, which works well for conmen. And hey, who doesn't want to start off their day with a fortune? Edwin is ready to embark on this con for the day. And guess who with? He has teamed up with Godfrey. Their target? Gladys, who does not know how to handle her unexpected fortune. The two have already set their sights on Gladys and are ready to roll. In this team, Godfrey sets the bait to get Gladys.
Madam, you have picked money. Are you going to give it back?
I think so.
You think so? He does not know, so it will not hurt him.
And Edwin does a great job of convincing her to pocket the cash.
Besides, this is an opportunity, a blessing from above.
You're not suggesting I pocket this man and run away with it, are you?
No, of course you thought that also when you had just picked the money.
I guess. But it's not mine.
It's not yours. Are you going to deny the opportunity life has given you? Are you? how many problems you have. Don't you think this money can solve a lot of problems?
I guess, but it's not mine.
It's not yours who has refused. It's not, but let's do like this. Put it in the bag, the thieves will see us, man. Now let us go to a quiet place. We count the money and you give me a little, because it's not mine, you are the one who picked it. You give me a little, then you take.
I don't know, this is not our money, really.
It's not our money, but he does not know. This is like winning a lottery. My God, let us go. You, which village did you come from? Huh? You pick such big sums and you are just there.
The moment she puts the money into her handbag and goes off with a stranger, she is lost.
Have you ever gotten such money? Huh? We hurry up and count the money. What is wrong?
Excuse me, Mwala.
She is now a victim, unable to defend herself because she believes she is short of a thief. After all, she has taken somebody else's money. It is now easy for the conmen to rob her of all her property. For me, I'm going to be a victim of this one. I always find valuable things on the street. Now, you know what you should not do when you find things that don't belong to you. Finders is not keepers. Is your worst fear a burglar breaking into your house? Or is your worst fear getting held at gunpoint? Whatever the case may be, you can get robbed in the blink of an eye. It's obvious that school holidays are with us again. Yes, there are many young faces everywhere, and those youngsters who have been incarcerated in boarding schools hit the streets. As they look for amusement places to hang out, it feels just too good to be back. But not everyone thinks so.
Look how our parents are thinking. Letting their kids go clubbing. Do you know what I do during this time? I do not let Alex out of my sight. Not even to the gents. I escort him right there and wait outside the door.
Maria, is that not getting a little too fast?
My bag!
Oh my God!
Right, now one thing is for sure. Now you know how not to hold your bag. I'm telling you, are we safe out there? So for me, life comes down to a number of things. The black, the white, the sky, the sea, the tricksters, and the victims. Catch you next time, same time on your screen. This has been Tricksters. Every new day has its own surprises, and in life we learn to take the good and the bad. So, every episode of
This is NTV.
yet another week at Login, where you get logged in and granted access to the wonderful things in the wonderful city of capital happening, Kampala. Now, it's end of the year, and I know a lot of you have a lot of things planned for the end of the year. Do you have any end of the year parties? End of the year getaways? Well, at NTV, we're having a beautiful, wonderful time. End of the year party at Phase 2 in Kampala. Well, let's take a look.
What is happening tonight is we are at the first end of year party for NTV of 2010. The reason why it's the first is because it's the only one. So I hope you're going to enjoy yourselves tonight. We've got great giveaways. People are going to win stuff tonight, but it's not for free. Yes. You have to work for what you get. And those who win will go home very happy. And some of you who win will go home without partners. Yes, it's that serious.
Achievers Award 2010, that is the category.
No, she's wait.
Yeah, we got two of them. Now those
just read, there's a beautiful plaque here for David. In recognition for duty with thoroughness and faster turnaround time. Congratulations, David. In recognition for creativity, thorough project execution and minimum production errors. Harriet. In recognition for duty with thoroughness and minimal errors. Abdul.
I mean, tonight has been a great night. We've enjoyed ourselves. I hope everybody has. And yeah, we've got clients like Felix here who are also having a blast, and we're just getting warmed up.
I would like to thank each and every one of you for making NTV the easiest product to sell. I'm a career salesperson. I've sold so many things, but each and every other that passes by, it becomes easier and easier. And for me to be able to achieve this has been everyone's contribution here, and I want to thank you all.
First, we are very grateful to be invited. It's good just to be here. So we're waiting to get down, as he mentions.
Well, the greatest part of the evening so far has been awarding of staff, excellence awards. So many people have been trying very hard to bring the brand to where it is right now. And after this is dancing, so we're looking forward to that.
I'd like to thank everybody who has made this possible, especially the people in the newsroom and to NTV in general. Thank you.
What does it take to win an award for excellence?
Just hard work and I guess commitment, that's it. Yeah.
It's end of year and I've been watching you all year and I can tell you for a fact you look really good. I sometimes don't even listen to the news. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
No, I guess style is part of it because, you know, it is important and I don't think anybody wants to see somebody who's shabby on television. So yeah, it's important to look good.
Now for everyone who's been watching you all year, you want to send them a Christmas message maybe?
Yeah, sure. I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year 2011.
I told you guys, I have the hookup. I know more famous people.
We're going to announce the Superstar Employee for the year 2010. And there are 3 nominees. And the first one is David Ijuka. The second one is Chrismail Waswa. And the third is Williams Kato. I'd like to mention that all these three, and indeed all the others who have been awarded here today, are deserving. But the winner, the overall winner for 2010 is Chris Bale. Today I stand here to celebrate yet another fantastic year. In terms of revenues, we are 7% above budget. We are 35% above last year's performance. In terms of operating profit, we are 41% above budget. And we are a whopping 319% above last year. Tonight is not a night for speeches. I thank you all, and I look forward to the next phase where we'll be moving to a new location in-house. And I thank you, and I hope that next year we can redouble our commitments to make this company again the total #1. Thank you.
Cause I have a weakness for sweetness. Weakness for sweetness. Weakness for sweetness. Weakness for sweetness. Want me to burn away. Want me to burn away. Want me to rock my soul. Want me to do some more. Want me to. Want me to.
You guys are still watching Log In. I'm telling you, I have such exciting things going on here. Stay with me. Oh my. Sometimes I think about the beginning of my journey to Kampala. When I started partying, I can't tell you all the stories, but I've been partying for a minute in this town, and it surprises me. I had gotten bored. Same places, same faces. It surprises me when there's a breath of fresh air into the city and the party horizon. Club Governor, It's just a new branch of Angenois, the former Angenois ground floor. For those of you who have been here, you know there's been a ground floor, Ange Mystique. I'm super hyper excited about the new place. I'm told it's for the high-end clientele. For those of us who have grown up with Angenois, who have seen it happen, who have seen it become something else, and have gotten tired of the randy crowd, you know? So I'm told I have a lot to expect. I'm really happy. I'd missed Angenois, you know? Let's see what they have in store for us.
And bump what you claim, homie, this who bang with enough gang to drive a square broad insane. And we #1 gunners, no, we ain't stunners. It's real with us, partner dealers and jug runners. And Mac be the G-boy and the H2 Hummer, looking hotter than a South Central LA summer. Let's go.
Boy, you are going to prison, man.
These girls out here about the bus. These fools out here afraid to bust. I have no fear, afraid of what? And with my peers, I'm coming up. Fools talk real loud, but don't run up. When we come through, they run and duck. We still right here, don't pressure.
What the hell is Ice Cube talking about?
We have so many exciting things. It's crazy, right? New things are popping up everywhere. And one of the things that's popped up on our party horizon, and you know me, I love a good party. I'll tell you, Governor is the business. Like, I had no idea what was even going on, and I got shocked. I walked in this space, there's lights, there's good music, a great ambience. And I'm here with the proprietor, Mr. Charlie Omega. Hello.
Hi.
I love the new space. Love this. What inspired you?
Really, it's a journey we've been on right from when we started with Angenois. Way back 19 years ago to this day, we started Angenois in this same venue. And we've moved on to Executive, then we went to Mystique, and we did Mystique UK, and we did Governor UK before doing Governor Uganda. Because Governor UK was a big hit, the deco and the whole concept, and we thought it would only be fair to bring it up, to bring it back home, bring it home. We have the luxury of changing the mood using colors, you know, using the deco. You know, it is something I feel will make people take long to get tired of it. Yeah.
I hear you. And I think that for many people, this is a very welcome fresh of breath of fresh air into the party scene. But should the people that are going to Ange Mystique now be worried? Are you going to change anything that end, or is this for the moment enough?
No, you know, it doesn't stop in our industry. As I speak, we are changing the carpets in Mystique. Yeah, we're doing improvements there. It's an ongoing process. It's always work in progress. You know, nightclub cannot be static for too long. Otherwise, people get fed up of it. So even Mystique, come Christmas, we've done 2 of the floors. Come Christmas, everything will be different too. Yeah.
These fools out here afraid to bust. I have no fear, afraid of what? And with my peers, I'm coming up. Fools talk real loud.
Oh my, I must say I absolutely loved it. It's beautiful, isn't it? The ambiance, the space. And who knows, you know, if you're above 25 and consider yourself the high-end clientele, this is definitely the spot for you. Anyway, I have more in store for you. You're watching Login.
Ladies and gentlemen.
A fabulous time tonight. I'm at the club launch party for their website, club.co.ug, and I'm having such a fabulous time. Club is just one of those brands that stays ahead of others in their own field. If, as much as you love Login, we wouldn't have been able to be here if it wasn't for our sponsor, Club Bear. Now, there are other people who are making the night happen, and I thought I'd check it out. There's a little gadget room here where we're filming messages for the website. If you're not a member of the community page, by the way, you gotta log on to club.co.ug. Let's first talk to Joe. Joe, what are you doing tonight?
We're just filming people, that's it really. I've got my free drink voucher, so I'm set. So that's it really. It doesn't say club on it though, which is probably bad advertising, yeah. Right. But you know, the wall says everything. So I think.
Have you heard any interesting confessions? Like I hooked up with my neighbor's wife, or like have there been any confessions in front of the camera?
Yeah, someone said earlier that they had actually fallen in love with a club beer bottle. Like, you know, had like a passionate relationship with this beer bottle.
Calling all Kampala fashionistas. For the 23rd of December, it's Fashionista Night at Cayenne, where Elite magazine will be unveiling their 3rd issue. Now, the dress code is strictly labels, so people, you better get that Gucci, Prada, Louis, and Ed Hardy ready, because in the past, Elite magazine has had Natasha Sinayobia and Judith Heard on the cover. And rumor has it that another one of Kampala's it girls, Helen Lukoma of HP Toxic, is gracing the 3rd cover. Congolese artist Fally Ipupa and Nigeria's Two-Face Idibia lit the winners by taking 2 trophies each at the 3rd edition of the MTV Africa Music Awards. This ceremony was held at the Eco Expo Hall in Lagos last Saturday, the 11th of December 2010. Fally Ipupa scored wins for Best Video and Best Francophone Act, while Two-Face, a former Mama winner from 2009, picked up trophies for Artist of the Year and Best Male Artist. Cabo Snoop became the first ever Angolan winner at Mama 2010, taking home the prize for Best Lusophone Act. The inaugural Best Anglophone Award went to Kenyan gospel breakthrough artist Daddy Owen, the first time a gospel artist to win a Mama Award. Nigerian vocalist Sasha scored Nigeria's first ever win in the Best Female category after Kenyan dominance over the last 2 years. Nigerian R&B duo P-Square added yet another Mama trophy to their awards cabinet, taking home Best Group for the 3rd year running, knocking down our very own Radio Weasel, Tear Gas from South Africa, and P-Unit from Kenya. The prestigious Best International Act was received by Eminem, who accepted the award via satellite from the USA, while Mama Legend Award, won by the late, great Miriam Makeba, was presented by Public Enemy founder and hip-hop pioneer Chuck D.
I think what you're looking at is really a platform that kind of brings African artists together and then shows Africa in the kind of light that we want to be represented into the...
Maybe I should take all of you with me.
Imagine the shock if you're sitting in a studio audience just to watch a TV show, talk show, and you're told you, and you will be flying to Australia, as that's what happened at Oprah Winfrey Show. Oprah Winfrey surprised the studio audience with free trips to Australia during the premiere of the 25th and final season of the Oprah Winfrey Show, held on Saturday the 13th of December 2010. The 300 audience members were offered an 8-day trip to Sydney, dubbed Oprah's Ultimate Australian Adventure. So freaking lucky. And just a reminder, Oprah Winfrey Network, OWN, will launch on cable January 1st, 2011.
Think about where would I most want to go.
A brand new video for Michael Jackson's Hold My Hand single was released online, and the world does seem to want a little bit more of the king of pop. But the state of California seems to want a big chunk of his estate, that is. Roughly $131,000 US to be exact. The figure is considerably more than the tax boards of the state sought from MJ's estate in March, but the late singer's estate is evaluating the claims before deciding whether to pay the demands or not. Well, that's all we have for you this week. Thank you very much for watching. And like we always tell you guys, make us better. Make us bring you bigger stuff. Ask for more events. I get a lot of requests, and I'm telling you, I read everything. We really do. So email us and log in at ntvuganda.co.ug. Until next week, I'm your host, Susan Nava, and I'm logging out.
This is NTV.
Zebras belong to the horse family and are best known for their distinctive white and black stripes, with each zebra having its own unique pattern of stripes, just like fingerprints. There are 3 species of zebra: the plain zebra, gravy zebra, and the mountain zebra. Zebras generally stand from 4 to 5 feet at the shoulder and weigh around 300 kilograms. The largest species, gravy zebra, can weigh up to 450 kilograms. Zebras can be found in a variety of habitats, such as grass.
Welcome. Tonight, 40,000 people may face eviction as government starts the resettlement action plan in Hoima to pave way for the refinery. We'll be sure to have your say on this in our NTV weekend poll. And more challenges for health service providers, with findings indicating ARV drug sharing among couples. Plus, of course, our topical feature, where tonight we look at the social media. And of course, we will have the very latest in sport. Once again, good evening. Welcome to NTV Weekend Edition. I am Josephine Karunji. First things first, the headlines.
We are looking at an area of 29 square kilometers, not only to house the refinery, but also attendant facilities and industries.
40,000 face eviction in Hoima as government starts a resettlement action plan for the oil refinery.
I am Chris Ochamringa with the story of the political debates that emerged from the second memorial lecture of the late Brigadier Noble Mayombo.
Social media is the new trendy way of communicating today. Tonight we focus on how this phenomenon has influenced parenting. I am Rachel with that story.
And in sports, Uganda Olympic Committee President Rogers Dungu has been given a life ban. Join me, Sam Mpoza, for this story.
Once again, thank you for joining us. Now, an estimated 40,000 people are facing eviction in the Western District of Hoima, where an oil refinery will be constructed. Government has earmarked 29 square kilometers of land in Kabale, Hoima district, and about 14 villages will be affected. But government says all the concerns will be dealt with under the Resettlement Action Plan.
This is Chaporin village in Hoima district, where an oil refinery plant will be set as government takes a stride in oil exploration. This means about 40,000 people are likely to lose their cradle land after the Resettlement Action Plan exercise for the refinery is finalized in 4 months' time.
We are looking at an area of 29 square kilometers, not only to house the refinery, but also attendant facilities and industries.
But as government plans to kick off with the project, there are still underlying concerns from the population. But government says all these will be undertaken and dealt with before the refinery kicks off.
We hear that those who have a lot of money are trying to buy our land so that they wait for the Wazungus to rent their land.
I'm suffers too much about this problem.
And I think they are right, because they are not sure whether what we are saying is the truth. But what is important is putting into action what has been said. And all the leadership in the ministry has assured the people that what is being said is nothing but the truth.
We have so many lands whereby there is only animals. So why are they disturbing us?
We've come to sensitize the people, so the people understand that their land is not being forcefully taken away.
According to government, the refinery, if completed in a projected 5 years time frame, will be able to produce a total of 80,000 barrels of oil, which will cost government $2.6 billion. Now, because there's a lot of anxiety over the relocation process, the government through the Energy and Mineral Development Ministry conducted a workshop to sensitize the locals on what exactly is going on within the Albertine Graben.
We're here to do what we call a Resettlement Action Plan, or commonly known as RAP. When you do this, you do so many surveys within. First of all, you know the boundaries of the land, who owns the land, how big is it, what is in there, how much is the value. That is one. So, two, you also do what we call a socio-economic survey.
Apart from the refinery, the land will house a modern aircraft airstrip, industries, among other facilities.
It's going to cater for offshoot industries that come out of byproducts of refining, like petrochemical industries. Petrochemical industries, you can make plastics out of those. So the land we want is 29 square kilometers purposely for the kind of facilities that we are planning and other infrastructure.
Government says when and where these people will be relocated will depend on the outcomes of the Settlement Action Plan and the surveying process, which kicked off on Friday. Julius Senkandwa, NTV.
Thank you, Julius. Well, that story is our point of interaction with you, our viewers, tonight. So we ask, do you support the government's plan to relocate or compensate over 40,000 people to pave way for the construction of the oil refinery? I repeat, do you support the government's plan to relocate or compensate over 40,000 people to pave way for the construction of the oil refinery? SMS your thoughts by typing NTV poll, leave a space followed by a brief comment to 8778. And stay tuned as we shall sample some of your views during the bulletin and some more towards the end of it. Now, moving on, the former Supreme Court Judge, Justice George Kanyihamba, has described the late Brigadier Noble Mayombo as an army officer of great intellect and discipline worthy of being emulated by other officers. Justice Kanyihamba was speaking as the chief guest at the Noble Mayombo Memorial Lecture held in Kampala. The memorial lecture was attended by top government officials, members of the clergy and relatives who turned up for a political debate of sorts as speakers questioned Uganda's political direction.
Thank you, sir.
The Noble Mayombo Memorial Lecture had high-profile public figures in attendance to pay tribute to the former permanent secretary of the Ministry of Defense who passed away in 2007.
I felt that in spite of everything, if we were to give him marks of how well he tried to address his ideals with the practical demands of his job, I would still give him an A+++.
The lecture got quite political at some point as speakers stood to discuss the life and times of the late Brigadier Mayombo.
Mayombo was really noble, but with due respect, Honorable Justice Kanyehamba, do we really have justice in this country? This is a very big question which is puzzling us. Really, what is taking place? This Mayombo used to advocate for justice.
I thought our greatest challenge is the development, the patient and painful development of institutional management.
Our problem is not bad education. Our problem is leadership gone bad.
But it was the emotion-filled speech of Justice George Kanyehamba that evoked feelings of sadness and regret among the audience.
What I discovered about him, like me, he was a short man. But his intellect scaled the mountains of knowledge. But I heard a lot about what he was doing when he was permanent secretary in the Ministry of Defense. I had many conflicts there. He had become a man of a few words. He seemed to be looking behind him as if people were listening. I was sad.
This lecture is the second of its kind since Brigadier Mayombo passed away in 2007. He died at the age of 42 after reportedly succumbing to heart failure. He is survived by a wife and 6 children. Chris Sochamringa, NTV.
Health service providers who administer ARV drugs are facing a challenge: drug sharing among HIV/AIDS patients. Their findings indicate that the health-seeking behavior among men is low compared to women, and this results into men sharing the drugs given to their wives. The Ministry of Health is acknowledging this challenge, saying it is promoting drug resistance among the infected couples.
Infrastructure is very important.
These health service providers are brainstorming on how best to deliver sexual and reproductive services to the community. But one challenge they have noted is poor habits in the consumption of drugs among HIV/AIDS patients.
Some people are sharing drugs, especially the husbands. When the wife says, they have examined me and they found I'm HIV positive and they have given me these drugs, the husband, instead of going for his examination, says, you infected me, we should share the drugs.
I have even handled cases where people feel they have palpitation and they think they have high blood pressure, and then they will tell you that I took my wife's medicine because the wife has ever visited a doctor.
The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Health, Asumani Lukago, attributes drug resistance to ARVs to the poor culture of irregular taking of the life-prolonging drugs.
The sharing actually means if the wife is taking 2 tablets, then she will take 1. Because the people told her maybe to come after 2 months. So for 1 month, this wife will not be on drugs, the husband will not be on drugs. And then this will encourage resistance.
Health experts note that it's the HIV-positive men living in denial that end up consuming their partner's drugs.
And when they are attached by HIV, their ego is contested. It's like feeling they have actually been belittled by something which they can't manage. Then they tend to withdraw.
The health providers are now urging men to seek voluntary counseling and testing services in order to keep their immune system strong and acceptable to the dose administered.
But the challenge is when that awareness is created and the demand for the services is done, in some of the cases the services are not fully available. And so that's a very big challenge.
To complement the services of voluntary counseling and testing, service providers are also encouraged to scale up the activities of sensitizing the public. Hilara Yesiga, NTV.
Now, River Malaba in Tororo has burst its banks, submerging acres of farmland and destroying crops. The torrential rains pounding this eastern border town have left hundreds of farmers worried that famine could result. Farmers in the neighboring Butaleja district are also facing the same challenge.
The raging waters are said to have left a trail of destruction on its way down the River Malaba. The once flourishing crops have turned yellow, a sign of withering. The entire farmland is waterlogged to the extent that farmers can't access their gardens. This violent rain that came with hailstorms pounded homes in Tororo, leaving dozens homeless.
There are more than 20 families that are affected. They've lost their property. They don't have where to sleep. If we can get tarpaulins, better.
The situation is not different in Butaleja district. Over 1,000 farmers are crying foul after the heavy rains washed away their gardens.
Kasoli, mogo, ebyo ebisinga okozesebwa ennyo bitya bibifudde.
The Red Cross manager Toro branch Robert Nandubu is concerned about the threat of cholera outbreak in the region. Pit latrine coverage in this region is very low, and the few latrines in the area have been washed away by heavy rains contaminating the water.
Look at the latrine coverage, it is really very poor. Water is flooding through the latrines, and that's the same water they are using to fetch and they drink.
Butaleja district is prone to flooding because of its location at the foot of Mount Elgon.
We'll break off for a short while now, but we return with more news, and you can expect. Kony's days are numbered, US AFRICOM chief assures Ugandans. And in our topical feature tonight, we look at social media and its influence on parenting. NTV Weekend Edition continues after this short break. Stay with us.
This is NTV. 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 This is NTV.
Welcome back to NTV Weekend Edition. Now a reminder that in our NTV Weekend poll tonight we asked, do you support the government's plan to relocate or compensate over 40,000 people to pave way for the construction of the oil refinery? I repeat, do you support the government's plan to relocate or compensate over 40,000 people to pave way for the construction of the oil refinery? To have your say, text 8778 followed by your name and where you are texting from. Let's now take a look at some of your responses so far. And we start with Fred in PG, who says, yes, I support it and I request all Ugandans not to politicize everything. This oil is for the good of the country. Another response comes in from Agaba Rugaba, who says, yes, it is a credible move. Uganda's need for energy and oil products now and in the future requires us to engage pragmatic framework to develop the necessary infrastructure like refineries, pipelines and roads. However, the affected landowners should be fully and comprehensively compensated and facilitated to resettle. J.B. Birungi says, I would support if only the affected people are paid handsomely and according to the current value of land in Uganda. Well, thank you so much for all of those responses. We will take a look at some more towards the end of tonight's newscast. Now, the U.S. AFRICOM Commander General Carter Ham has told NTV that the LRA rebel leader Joseph Kony's days are numbered and he will by all means be brought to justice. But the U.S. general did not give the deadline to capture Kony, who is said to be hiding in the Central African Republic. General Ham says if the 4 countries in which the LRA operate could provide necessary information about their whereabouts, it will take a short time to end the rebel group's existence.
It's nearly 23 years since the hunt for LRA rebel leader Joseph Kony for the atrocities committed against the people of northern Uganda, where scores were killed, abducted and maimed. In October 2011, U.S. President Barack Obama ordered the deployment of 100 armed U.S. troops to assist the UPDF in capturing Kony. Previously, the Ugandan army cited one of the challenges in bringing Joseph Kony and his group to justice as being the hard geographical terrain in Central Republic. But the big question that remains is why have they taken so long to bring Kony to justice with the support of the U.S. army that has all the sophisticated technology and military power?
I would remind people that that it took more than 10 years for us to find Osama bin Laden, the most wanted man on the planet.
However, the U.S. four-star commander believes that the days for the vilified Kony and his group are numbered.
I am confident that Joseph Kony will be captured and brought to justice, and his senior leaders are almost exclusively focused on survival now. They're on the run. They're under pressure.
But what the populace expect is, when will this happen?
As much as I would like to be able to tell my own president, to be able to tell President Museveni that we think this capture will occur by a certain date, that's just not realistic.
In order for the war on LRA to take a shorter time, General Ham believes Sudan, Congo, Central Republic and Uganda should work closely and share intelligence information that would help the UPDF zero in Kony and his rebels.
And in this case, Uganda specifically, to act on that information and bring Kony to justice.
General Ham asserts that the U.S. cannot take an operational role in the hunt for the rebels.
If we were asked for an operational role, this would have to be discussed within my government to do that.
On the issue of the recent conflict between Juba and the Khartoum government, General Ham insists that the U.S. will continue to push for talks between the two countries.
This could expand very quickly into a broader regional conflict, which would be very destabilizing, very dangerous, and none of us want that to happen. Good, thanks. It's great to see you again. Good to see you.
The U.S. AFRICOM commander was in the country to grace the end of the symposium between commanders of land forces from 37 countries. Sudil Biaruhanga, NTV.
And when you hear social media today, your mind will probably think fast of Facebook or Twitter. There's actually more social media platforms than you could care to be a part of. These range from social blogs, podcasts and the like. The social media buzz grows with each passing day. It's almost like the world is within our reach. Rachel Initwe delves more into that subject.
Okay, social media is really what you would call, to some people it's new media. New media in the sense that you have new avenues of engaging and communicating.
Also known as the new media in some circles, just about anything goes on these sites. From stress relief to sharing business ideas, it's all about basic communication online and networking. However, the trend varies from place to place. It is interesting to note that outside Africa, the older folk are catching on with social media as opposed to their counterparts in Africa.
So in this sense, it is a platform that enables you to do your basic communication, but this time you're doing it on a digital platform. If you compare Uganda with, let's say, Kenya, on Facebook, Kenya has about 1.3 million Facebook subscribers. Uganda is about 350,000.
Our focus this time around highlights the role of parents and guardians in all of this. Could it be that parents are losing their role to social media, or is it simply filling a void they have created?
Yes, in a sense, parents are losing their grip on their children and on parenting their children to the mass media and to social media. There is a lot of that happening. But I want to say that that is coming simply because parents are also shifting more and more they're getting busy, they're going to work, but both of them moreover, and they're spending less and less time with the children. And so there's a vacuum, there's a parenting vacuum. And so in that parenting vacuum, social media and other things have actually come in.
Parents and guardians are finding it hard to keep up with the rising trends of technology and the increasing use of social media by their children. While the internet is a tool for basic communication, a colossal amount of information is dished out using the same platform. As a parent, before you guide your child on how to use this information, you need to be able to understand it yourself.
The issue is, how do you guide and mentor your child or your children not to stray and stumble? Because you see, once they discover and get to know by themselves what you have not been able, the safeguards in life have not been properly put in place, then they will get stuck there.
The word here is balance. The word here is balance. Parents need to help their children to balance life. Secondly, they also need to understand that they should not be enslaved by anything.
We need to start thinking about ways to balance technology, the use of social media sites, and work with a way that will ensure that the quality of our lives does not suffer. Although there are real benefits to kids using sites like Facebook, including increased communication, access to information, and help in developing a sense of self, there can be serious downsides to all this online sharing too.
We should remember that in all that we do, we should do things from a point of view of values. A lot of things are coming from social media which are valueless. Now, parents need to parent their children in such a way that they should help their children to determine what is valuable and what is useless.
We live in a highly digitized era. Social media provides a platform for today's generation to create new ideas, vent, and forge new relationships. It's important that as a parent, you discover how social media operates so you can help and guide your children on how to make the most of it. Rachel Arinitwe, NTV.
Thank you, Rachel. Now, to shed more light on that subject, joining us live in the studio tonight is Robbie Muhumza, who is a communication consultant. You are very welcome to NTV Weekend Edition.
Thank you.
Now, to start us off, how has social media influenced communication today?
Social media is a great force, especially among young people who live in urban areas, who are educated, who are in school. The availability of cheap phones that are connected to the internet, and especially the zero Facebook, makes it so versatile. A lot of young people, I was looking at the statistics for Uganda, for instance. Out of 34 million Ugandans, we have got 17 million mobile phones. So for every 2 Ugandans, there is a mobile phone. And so for young people that have access to this free technology, social media plays a big role in their lives.
And communication becomes easier.
And communication becomes easier.
Let's look at the relationship between parents and their children. Why is it that they cannot freely interact on these social media sites?
A number of parents are called BBC, born before computers. And the young generation is the .com generation. And so you find a generation gap, a digital gap between most of the parents who don't understand, who don't take the time, who think it's a waste of time, and the young people who live by social media. So there is a generation gap that needs to be brought together by parents becoming more digital savvy, because you can't afford to raise a new generation if you're not speaking the same language, the digital.com language, the social media language.
And speaking of that, are parents losing their parenting role to the social media, because children learn so much more from social media sites than they do from their parents these days?
To a great extent, yes. I've been talking with a number of parents on this subject, especially parents with teenagers, with children in secondary school and universities. And many of them, and these are educated parents in Kampala, many of them are not on Facebook. They think it's a waste of time, and their children are on Facebook. And so Facebook, because it's the most common and most used in Uganda, is taking on a more significant role in terms of
the teacher,
influencing the children more than the parents. Parents are busy, they are working, they are traveling, making money, taking care of the children, and so the children are left on their own, and so they turn to the social media to socialize and interact with each other.
Well, busy or not, as a parent, how do you advise your child on proper use of these social media sites?
I think the first step is for parents to be social media savvy. For a long time, I kept dodging. I thought it was a waste of time, and all my children were on Facebook. So later on, I took the plunge. I understood more about the technology. I asked them to be my friends. Actually, they taught me on how to use social media. And I think many parents need to do that, because though I'm busy and my children are busy, we are very well connected through social media. They're in boarding school, they're in university, but on a daily basis, we're in touch, and I can be able to influence them. And so parents need to take that step of knowing social media, of being active participants.
There are many things that people will say on these social media sites that they would never say to their parents, or if they were within earshot of their parents. And I think it makes it seem like their parents are watchdogs when they join these sites to look, to follow up on what their children are doing.
If parents are going to join Facebook with their friends, they have to be very careful. They have to be cautious. They've got to respect the privacy of their children. They don't have to butt in all the time. But once in a while, if things are going out of hand, if there is a conversation going on between the young people, and you can see they are going on a wrong trend, it's time to bring in the word, bring in some caution, some word of advice, but do it politely and cautiously. Otherwise, they are going to unfriend you.
That's true. Play an advisory role.
Yes, in a polite, respectful manner.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
You are welcome.
We have been speaking to Robbie Muhumuza, a communication consultant, on the subject of social media. Let's now take a short break. NTV Weekend Edition will be right back with the latest in sport.
This is NTV. This is
Welcome to NTV Sport. Uganda Rugby President William Bleak assumed the presidency of the Uganda Olympic Committee following a ban on former President Rogers Hans Dungu. Bleak was the vice president in Dungu's administration, as Sam Pose reports.
13 federations out of 18 that constitute the assembly voted to ban suspended President Rogers Dungu from the Uganda Olympic Committee. The extraordinary assembly held at the Katikati restaurant in Kampala found the former president guilty of violating Article 23 of the Uganda Olympic Committee Constitution that prohibits its members from seeking court arbitration for the committee matters.
Which is very clear, any legal arbitration that is taken to the courts of law is prohibited and attracts a fine or a penalty of a ban. It is very clear in our constitution, and that's what the members have done.
Dung sued his committee members for suspending him from office, a matter that the assembly used against him. Assistant General Secretary Nicholas Piminga survived the ban, but the assembly voted to suspend him pending a formal judicial process. Piminga is accused of causing confusion by saturating communication on behalf of the suspended president. Dung's fate evoked moments of celebrations among some circles in the sports fraternity.
I'm glad that the General Assembly, which is the supreme body, saw the truth, and I can now operate without fear.
We are happy, extra happy. Let him go back to his business and leave our sports alone. I think we shall improve and get better than he has been when he has been around.
The Bleak-led committee will need to communicate today's position to the international body if Ugandan athletes are to participate in the London Games. Sam Poza, NTV Sport.
Victoria University Sports Club claimed the last slot in the Uganda Super League with a 4-0 thrashing of our Room Roses in a decisive game played at Nambole this afternoon. Moses Ali Gale opened the scoring for the university side before Edwin Kaganda stretched their lead to 2. Dennis Guma converted the third before Ronald Chirumira sealed the victory with the fourth for Victoria University to become the first higher institute of learning to play in the Uganda Super League. The Sports Act has once again come under attack, this time from the Uganda Professional Boxing Commission in their extraordinary assembly, in which constitutional amendments were proposed. Officials blame government's reluctance to amend the laws that have allowed individuals with selfish interests to infiltrate the management structures.
This is in preparation for the forthcoming annual general meeting.
Uganda Professional Boxing Commission delegates have proposed a constitutional amendment that will require individuals aspiring to take on presidential position to have been active members for at least 5 years.
If somebody's been a member consecutively for 5 years, that means that he understands the game inside and out, and even his fellow members will have known what sort of person he is.
They also want the executives to have been involved in the Commission's activities for 3 years before taking on such responsibilities. Their President Celestino Mindra pledged to respect the 2-term limit by not seeking another mandate, but criticized government for not amending the Sports Act, which to him does not conform with the current demands.
So we should have something which embraces, which is wide, which is able to
embrace professional, what we call here professional and what we call amateur. So that is what we should look at. We should not look at it in a limited area. Actually, the sports in the time when the current act was enacted, there was only sports in amateur.
He also urged officials to become more creative to match the market needs and the competition that is coming with other organizations seeking to manage professional boxing. Alfred Odong, NTV Sport.
Uganda's light-heavy boxer Hamza Wandera is set to face off with Kenya's Marco Luch tomorrow at Obligato in a 12-rounds fight for the vacant Eastern Central Africa title. Wandera, who has been training in Kenya ahead of the fights, tells NTV Sport that despite the vast record for his opponent, he will not spare him in tomorrow's fight.
I've really trained. I'm physically fit. I don't know what will come out, but I'm very sure I'm going to win this game. I won't promise a KO, I won't promise anything, but I know I'm going to win. He's a tough fighter. Last watch his fight that was in 2008. Understand he fought Farouk Daku here. When Farouk went to Arua, he disturbed Farouk so much, but I won't allow him to disturb me.
Regrets, counter-accusations and some flimsy hope for qualification in the 2016 Olympic Games is what is left for the boxing fraternity in Uganda after failure to make it to the Games in London. As Alfred Odong reports, Ministry of Sports officials' reluctance to come up with the laws that meet the modern demands of managing sports activities and poor facilities are to blame for Uganda's poor performance in boxing.
Boxing in Uganda is rated as one of the most performing sports in international competition, with Eridad Nkwanga, Leo Rwabogo and John Mugabe winning silver in the Olympic Games. Leo Rwabogo also won a bronze in 1968 Games held in Mexico, all turning Uganda to a boxing powerhouse on the international scene. This feat has however not been easy to further elevate or even maintain, as management bickering and allegation of financial management took center stage. The worst of all is Team Uganda's failure to take part in the qualifiers and subsequently missing out in the forthcoming London Games.
Actually, as of now, we don't have boxers that are scheduled to participate in the Olympics this year because of the confusion that has been there. None of them went for the qualifiers, so we don't have any boxers.
About 8 years of administrative wrangles have left the sport at the edge of being banned from international competitions as officials continue pointing fingers at each other.
You are well aware of the sports situation in Uganda because it's not news no more that sports have the problem.
These actions have left officials questioning the relevance of the Sports Act and the ministry's commitment to have harmony in the games management.
A lot of people are blaming the National Council of Sport, they are blaming the minister and all this. But the issue is there must be regulatory instruments which will be able to automatically regulate the affairs of sports in this country. It should be able to govern the affairs of this country.
I wouldn't want them to distance themselves from it because they are part of it. They are part of the formation. They knew that our leadership was the right leadership in office, and they were the ones who had actually constituted the whole process, but they still couldn't come up and make a statement, write to the relevant bodies.
Uganda's failure to make the games in London has not, however, demoralized officials, but instead placed them in a drawing board to map out possible ways of ensuring the lost glory is reclaimed.
And this entails having development strategies, putting intangibles together, putting facilities together to ensure that young people are attracted to sports. And because I don't look at boxing alone, I love boxing, it's my sport, but I look at the young talent across the country, and I think every kid deserves a chance to have a sports field, to have a good gymnasium. I could imagine Uganda having a multi-faceted gymnasium.
Amateur boxers endured 4 years of training with hope that they will be part of the athletes to play in the Olympic Games to be held in London later this year. However, administrative wrangles at Uganda Amateur Boxing Federation hindered them from taking part in the qualifiers. They will now have to wait for the 2016 qualifiers to start next year. These games will be hosted in Brazil. Alfred Odong, NTV Sport.
Well, thank you, Alfred, and that brings us to the end of NTV Sport for this evening. Thank you for watching. I'll be right back.
NTV. This is 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 NTV. This is.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's take you back to tonight's NTV Weekend Poll and look at some of your responses. Now, we asked you, do you support the government's plan to relocate or compensate over 40,000 people to pave way for the construction of the oil refinery? More responses, and we start with Rebecca in Barra, who says no. With the ongoing secrecy in the oil sector, that land might end up with a big refinery just like the five-star hotel at Shimoni. Another response comes in from Joel TJ, who says, it is a good thing to be, but I don't buy the idea because relocations by the government have turned into a wealth bridge for those who are put in charge, and in the end, Ugandans suffer. A change in policy needs to be put up to see that compensation benefits the displaced. Moses Echodu says Uganda is in sheer need of development and the oil refinery is going to reduce on the money spent on importing oil to the country. And in any case, the affected people are going to be compensated. Isaac Mada says, who will set the compensation price and acceptable to each owner of land? Furthermore, by what criteria? And lastly, Jimmy Olum says, compensation on relocation is a good idea, but the question is, shall we really benefit from the oil, or will it just be money wasted on compensation without gain? And that's all the responses that we had time for this evening. Let's take a look at tomorrow's projected weather. That weather report concludes our Saturday bulletin. NTV Weekend Edition will be back tomorrow. Thank you for your company this weekend. From myself and the team behind the scenes, it's good night.
This is NTV.
combination here, y'all. Feel it. The revolution will be televised. Feel me.
She with shampoos a lot. Several morning she shampoos my locks. Always have my back, she stand true to that. Real type of loving, thank you for that. Yo, run barefoot without no shoes and socks. Cause she keep herself clean, man, I got catch no rush. And she love me for real, man, I feel have no cash. And any little thing and from a splish, you splash. Yo, all this blinging is like you forgot. Use cheddar as the bait, then you recruit the rat. So we listen couple speech of Martin Luther chat. Dennis Brown, Bob Marley and some super cats. Yo, it seem like she live upside the Duke shop. Cause she don't have a scratch, it's only beauty spot. When one duty start is when one duty stop. 1 9 to 5, 1 5 to 12 o'clock. You see me?
now.